Africa, a continent with so many diverse people. There are different kinds of culture, groups, and also languages, people that are in this continent, okay? And recently, the government of Rwanda have made some bold steps against its religious body, mainly the churches. See this. Alright, so African Facts recently also shared a post that says Rwanda is considering taxing churches' offerings and tithes to reduce exploitation. So it says 8,000 churches have been shut down by the Rwandan government for not meeting infrastructure standards and legal requirements. Well, this is Rwanda, an Eastern African country. They are saying that their government have closed down about 8,000 churches, saying that they have not met some infrastructure demands or requirements, and also they are also into some kind of exploitation to its people or its members. How bold step is it? How will you take this as an African? How do you see it? Do you think as a bold step that was taken by the Rwandan government, or do you also think that it was not good? He's actually waging a war onto God, or a war with God. How will you say it? Mostly my religious people. How will you put it? But as an African, how will you say about this move by the Rwandan government, head by His Excellency Paul Kagame? Let's continue with this. Well, on my takes, I know most of us actually belongs to different religions or religious groups, okay? There are Christians, they are traditionalist people, and there are also Muslims, there are Buddhism, all types of cultural differences and religions. But let's be real here. We are talking about churches today, okay? But African churches, there are something odd with them. See this. Well, can you even imagine this? A pastor doing that in a church. This is how some African churches actually behave. See this one too. See this one too.
Come back. We don't bury babies here. It is written, as soon as you hear of me, you shall obey me. Oh yeah, cry back to life now. Cry. Cry, cry. Jesus, and God breathed upon him, he became a living soul.
Man was actually trying to heal that child. What do you mean by that? He actually means that he have prayed for that child might be suffering from epilepsy or a seizure. The first thing you have to do is send the child to hospital. But see, African mentality, they has decided to actually take the child to a church to be prayed upon. I'm not saying God is not powerful enough to do anything wonderful, but I'm saying that let's scientifically prove it otherwise before you can do it spiritually like that. Okay, seriously, this is insane. Also, there's also this pastor who also wears heels. Yeah, in pulpits, he wears heels in Africa. These are the kind of churches we have in Africa, and this is what Rwandan President Paul Kagame is actually saying. He's saying that he's closing down about 8,000 churches who fail to reach its requirements and also infrastructure requirements also. So let's dive inside and see how Rwandan government actually came about, or how is he actually going about with this plan of his that he wants to do. So let's see the press release that the Rwandan government actually dropped. Alright, so it says the Rwandan government board, that is RGB, in collaboration with other relevant government agencies, is conducting an inspection to ensure compliance with the laws and regulations governing faith-based organization. The inspection focused on verifying that the denominations and prayer houses have registration documents issued by the RGB, letters of collaboration with districts when a branch is open, and that prayer house must legal requirement, that is building codes for their location. It also checks if leaders hold the requirements academic degrees and certificates in theology at both the organizational and parish or branch levels. Wow, now actually this is good. This is way good. First of all, the first point that they stated here, I'm actually a victim of it. location of where the churches are based. This is one thing Africa we are actually failing to do. There's a church near my house. These people don't let me sleep. They have been having all types of programs from Monday to Monday, morning ones and the evening ones. How are you supposed to build a church close to where people actually live, a community in the middle of a community like that? Churches should be some place far that we can actually have some peace of mind. And you all know how some Orthodox churches actually behave in their churches, playing the drums, boom, 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 the noises. Come on, we are all Christians, but come on. We should have some time, some day off. There should be a little far distance from people. The location is very important too. I agree with it. I agree with Rwandan for this one. And also, they are saying that a pastor or the leader of the church must hold some requirements or certificate requirements from their parish or in theology. Yes, also, I agree with that point too. You need to have something more than just knowing inside the Bible. You need to be a credentially, or you need to be much more than just holding the Bible and talking about it. This one I agree 100% with the Rwandan government. We need to actually do something about these religious activities by our religious bodies. Seriously. Although today I'm talking about churches here, tomorrow it might be the other religions. But seriously, let's have this in mind. I'm not saying God is not in Africa. I'm not saying that all of these churches are not good or that they are not actually doing the humanitarian works. You guys are doing it. But we're actually discussing the negative side of it or the disadvantageous side of it. Seriously, the location of your churches needs to be mindfully a serious discussion. Okay, we need to discuss that. The churches should be some a little far from us. Seriously, and also there should be some requirements to be a pastor in African churches too. I hope other African countries can actually adopt that. But as this was going on, and I've also shared my opinions. Let's see how our other African people also decided to, or see how Rwandan government have done. Let's see what they think about this. Okay, you too can also drop your comments at the comment section, and I'll be in the comment section to see what's going on. Shall we? Alright, so to our first comment, this guy came and says, Africa must rise above exploitation in all forms, even within religious spaces. Rwanda's proactive approach may be the wake-up call needed to ensure that churches across the continent prioritize the welfare of their congregation. Exactly. Very, very, very important. This point is very important. As we are saying, we are not condemning churches. No, we are not going to condemn them. But there should be some kind of reinforcement and also some kind of law they actually need to abide. And the topic says that Rwandans are going to allow churches to actually pay some taxes to. Well, they are actually doing some humanitarian works, yes, but actually the tithes or the taxes will also do good for the government too, because some churches are living lavishly. Mostly the leaders of the churches, if they drop something small for the governments, it's not bad. They should actually do that one too. Most important. Alright, so this one also says, so Rwanda wants to exploit to prevent exploitation. Yeah, you can say it like that. You can also say it like that. So Rwandans want to exploit to prevent exploitation. Yeah, the churches are exploiting the people, but Rwandans also want to exploit the churches too. It's a game of chess. That's how governments are. Okay, if you have something bad, they'll arrest you for it. If you have something good, they'll actually divide it with you and share with you. Yes, that's how government works. But for African situation, it actually goes different way. They will actually take what you have or you pay taxes with it, but the works they have to use the money for or whatever they took from you to work for the government or the country is where they draw a line. They don't actually do that. But that's actually how government works. Something bad, they don't like it. Something good, they are in. As Americans, they will tell you how much they are being taxed by almost everything. As an African, they are the highest, most taxed Africans on the continent. They can actually tell you that. But hopefully, if you tax out this much, you can also at least show working too. That's one important aspect also. All right, let's continue with this. Lastly, this person also came in and had this to say: these churches should be taxed. Just look around and see in Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, and Uganda. Apart from businessmen and politicians, the richest people are the men of the cloth. Now, religion is being used to swindle cash from believers in Africa, which is wrong. Well, that's what man is saying. Well, mostly I would say I agree to his point to some extent, but he should have used most churches though. It's not all of them. Let's be fair here. Not all the churches that are like that, but most of them are actually like that. One will say, how true is this news? Well, it was actually true. It came about. So the East African publishing also posted. It says the churches may pay tax on their collections. Rwanda President Kagame says. Okay, so it was Sunday, August 18, 2024. So it's actually true. Okay, it's something that Rwanda government, His Excellency Paul Kagame, is actually looking forward to do this. So there are actually some measures in place, and they are checking about how churches can actually be operative with some requirements and some certificates in theology that can grant you to open a church in Uganda right now. So hopefully this can reach to other parts of Africa, and we can have a peace of mind from these kind of pastors that we have. Not all of them, but some kinds are doing way too much. We need to address that. This is without say, I was here to share with you some points and news about Rwanda, the Eastern African country. See you guys around.